Welcome to Old Time Radio Favorites. Today I'm concluding the Jack Armstrong Zambo Anga adventure with the last 6 episodes, which are from the end of January 1941 into early February 1941.
Jack Armstrong, the all-American boy.
Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand. Ever shall our team be champions, known throughout the land.
Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, bring you the thrilling adventures of Jack Armstrong, the all-American boy. Okay, Mr. Sound Effects Man, let her go! Say, did all that noise bring you to your feet? Man, I hope so, because I'm going to give you one of the hottest pieces of news you've ever heard. Yes, it's red hot. So listen with all your ears and don't miss a single word of what I'm going to say. All ready? Okay, here's the great news. General Mills, makers of Wheaties, have decided to make it possible for you to own a genuine Jack Armstrong pedometer. Did you get that? Now you can actually own a genuine Jack Armstrong pedometer exactly like the one which is playing such an important part in Jack Armstrong's latest radio adventure. Think of it. A scientifically designed mechanical device that measures the distance you walk. You see, the Jack Armstrong pedometer is not a toy. It operates on exactly the same principle, and actual tests have proved that mile for mile it's just as accurate as many expensive pedometers used by sportsmen and travelers. Shaped like a large pocket watch, the Jack Armstrong pedometer has a special clip on its back which allows you to fasten the pedometer to your belt or pocket. As you walk, a dial on the face of the pedometer revolves, and the distance you travel is automatically registered in fractions of a mile. It's just what you need for measuring the distance from home to school or the total distance you walk every day. Now, here's all you have to do to make this amazing mechanical instrument your very own. It's so easy, I know you'll want to order yours tonight and be one of the very first in your neighborhood to own and use a Jack Armstrong pedometer. Now, just tear the top off one Wheaties package and send it together with your name and address and only 10 cents in cash to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's absolutely all there is to it. But if you want to get in on the ground floor, I advise you to get busy right now. Remember, all you have to do is tear off the top of one Wheaties package and send it together with your name and address and 10 cents in cash to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. But don't wait. Get your order for a Jack Armstrong pedometer in the mail tonight. And now, Jack Armstrong, the all-American boy. Jack Armstrong had just climbed down a rope to get from a rocky ledge to a mountain stream in a wild hill country, the Zambo Anga Peninsula in Mindanao. Jack and Billy are trying to intercept a Moro named Macayo, who is on his way to a cave where hostile tribes have smuggled a supply of rifles to use in an uprising. Uncle Jim and Betty are hidden on that rocky ledge high above the stream, waiting for the return of Malua, who has gone to the cave in disguise to find out what the hostile tribesmen are doing to the prisoner, Lieutenant Rawlings. Right now, Jack is steadying the knotted rope against the face of the cliff to assist Billy to climb down. Listen.
I'll hold the rope steady, Billy. That'll keep it from swinging so much against the cliff. There. Does that help any?
I'll say it does, Jack. Boy, for a moment I felt like the pendulum of a clock.
You're almost down. There's a knot in the rope just under your foot. That's the idea. You can almost drop from there.
I'm going to drop down, Jack. How deep is the creek there?
Just about a foot deep, Billy. All right. Drop. Did you hurt yourself, Billy?
No, that was nothing. Where's Macayo, Jack? I can't see him.
He's way upstream, Billy. I think he must be walking along the shore, just past that place where the stream comes through a little gorge. We'll be able to see him soon.
I hope he hasn't seen us yet, Jack. We've got to keep him from getting to that cave.
That's our job, Billy. If he gets to the cave, he'll tell the natives that the Moro peddler is really Malua in disguise. Then he'll make Malua a prisoner along with Lieutenant Rawlings.
Well, let's get going, Jack. Oh, what are you going to do with that pedometer?
I'm setting it back to 0, Billy.
But why do we need the pedometer now, Jack? Why do you want to know how far we're going to walk?
We may have to lead Mikhail a merry chase through the hills, Billy. We can't risk getting lost. If we know how far we've gone, we'll know about where we are, even if we don't find the trail. There. It reads 0 now. Let's get going to meet Mikhail.
Jack, I wish Uncle Jim would really let us try to capture Mikhail. You and I could do it by ourselves.
I think we could too, Billy. But there's a chance that he'd get the better of us. We've got to let him see us, and then we've got to let him chase us up the hill and back to the trail.
And then the chase just begins, Jack. We've got to let him chase us along the trail until we lead him to where Uncle Jim is.
So you see, Billy, if he can run faster or longer than you and I, we may have to do something about it.
Jumping Jiminy, Jack, I just had a thought. Carl Rye and his tribe will be along that trail pretty soon, trying to capture Uncle Jim and Betty and us. What'll we do if we see them?
I know what I'll do, Billy. I'll keep out of their way. If we ever fall into Karang's hands, it'll be just too bad.
Yeah, I'd rather be a prisoner in the cave than a prisoner of Karang's.
Look, Billy, life isn't so bad here. We can find a place to walk along the shore now. Let's get out of this screen.
Suits me, Jack. There are some bushes along the bank, too. It'll be easier to hide from Mikhail when he does come in sight.
Here, we can walk along the bank now. We ought to be able to see Mikhail any minute.
Holy smoke, these bushes are thick. I'd rather be waiting in the stream.
Yeah, so would I, except for the chance that Mikhail would see us too soon. Look, Billy, there he comes now.
Where, Jack? I don't see him coming down the stream anywhere.
Look where the stream comes down through the gorge, Billy. He's on the left-hand side, right next to the cliff.
Oh, I see him. Why, he's not far away, Jack. Do you suppose that he can see us?
I don't think so, Billy. We're pretty well camouflaged as long as we stick in these bushes close to the cliff. Don't stop. Let's keep going.
Jack, how are we going to get him to chase us up to the trail? But crickets, I don't even see how we can get to the trail from here.
Wait, I think I see a pretty good place now. There's a sort of gully that comes down the hillside. I'll bet we can use that to get back to the top.
Sulphur and catfish, I hope we can. If we can't, we will have to try to capture him.
We'll have to move along faster, Billy. We've got to get to that gully before he does. And he's almost through that gorge now. Let's try running. But watch those bushes. Don't let him trip you. Come on.
He's going to see us in just a second, Jack.
That's all right, Billy. We want him to see us as soon as we get to that gully.
He's seen us now, Jack. Look at him. He doesn't know what to think.
He thinks we're running to attack him. Look at him pull out his bolo.
Maybe he won't charge us, Jack. Maybe he'll be glad to see us go up the hill.
He'll chase us all right as soon as he sees that we're running away from him. Say, he's actually coming to meet us. He's not afraid.
Oh, I'm glad we don't have to try to capture him. He looks awfully fierce with that bolo shining in the sun.
Is that gully, Billy? There are lots of loose stones in it. Watch it.
I'll watch it. He won't have any trouble keeping us in sight, Jack. There's not a bush in this gully.
Hurry, Billy. You go first. I'll come right behind you.
Okay. Holy mackerel. This is almost as steep as the cliff. Watch out for these stones I'm kicking loose, Jack.
I'll watch him, Billy. Oh, that one almost got me. But keep on, Billy. Here comes Mikhail. Hurry.
I'm hurrying. This is one steep gully to climb. Maybe we could kick some stones loose in Mikhail's face.
Listen to Mikhail. I think a couple of stones got him. Boy, is he mad. He's brandishing his bolo at us.
It's all right with me, Jack. He can't climb fast with that bolo in his hand. This gully is a two-handed job.
He's putting the bolo back in his sash, Billy. He means business. Now we'll see how fast the Moro can climb a gully.
I don't think he likes us one bit, Jack.
Neither do I. We'd better not let him catch us.
I'm almost to the top. We'll get there before he can catch up with us, Jack. He's no eagle.
But we've got to get a good lead on him when we get to the trail, Billy. He may be able to run faster than we can.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to do some running then, Jack. Here, pull myself up to the sledge. We'll be on top.
I'll give you a boost, Billy.
Okay.
There you go. Put your foot in this little crevice.
Okay.
There, boy. That's making it.
Here now, Jack. Grab my hand and I'll help pull you up.
Okay, Billy. Wait. There's a thick root I can use to pull myself up. Now, where's Mikhail?
There he is. He's not wasting any time. I wish I had a boulder to push down on top of him.
Well, we've got to find that trail now, Billy. I think it's somewhere in this direction, right through these bushes. Come on.
I hope we can find that trail. We'll stand a fine chance of getting lost if we don't.
Mikhail's reached the top of the cliff, Billy. He's looking around for us.
Well, he sees us now, Jack. He's starting to run after us.
Step on it, Billy. We can't let him catch us before we get back to Uncle Jim.
But Jimmy, these bushes are getting thick. Gotta break our way through them. I can hardly run at all.
We've got to run, Billy, or else we've got to stop and fight Mikhail. Say, what's this ahead? It can't be the trail.
Oh, it's a path, Jack. It's an old native footpath.
And it goes parallel to the creek, Billy.
Oh,
it goes
boy.
right to Uncle Jim and Betty. We'll take it. Now we can really run.
Oh, this is swell, Jack. It's a regular shortcut, Uncle Jim. Why, we'll be there in no time.
Mikhail won't be far behind us either. I hope Uncle Jim and Betty keep out of sight until we get there.
Uncle Jim won't be expecting us to come from this direction, Jack. I wish there was some way that we could let him know.
You'll hear us running, Billy. Don't look back. Keep your eyes ahead, Billy. You'll stumble if you're not careful.
I want to see if Mikhail has his bolo in his hand. He has, Jack. He's drawn his bolo again. Boy, oh boy, that's all I want to know. Watch me run.
I'm keeping up with you, Billy. Look, I just got a glimpse of Uncle Jim ahead.
Where? I don't see him.
You can't see him now. He's up behind some bushes, so Makayo won't see him. But he's preparing a welcome for Makayo.
Oh, Makayo's leading on us, Jack. He's getting closer and closer.
We're almost there, Billy. Makayo can't possibly catch up with us before we get there. Look, Uncle Jim is signaling us from those bushes. He wants us to run in there with him.
I don't see him, Jack.
He wants us to turn in right by that large tree, Billy. You go in first. I'll follow you. And in a few seconds, we'll have Makayo in there trying to find us. There, you can see Uncle Jim now.
This way, Billy. Turn in here.
Oh, okay, Uncle Jim.
You follow right behind Billy, Jack. Right behind those trees.
Hadn't I better stay here to help you, Uncle Jim?
You help me after I lasso Makayo with this rope, Jack. Be quiet. I'll break on.
What's Uncle Jim going to do, Jack?
He's going to lasso Makayo, Billy. See? He has a lasso all made up.
But he may miss him, Jack.
He won't miss him. Makayo has to slow up when he comes into these bushes. Now, look sharp, Billy. Just as soon as Uncle Jim lassos him, you and I will jump out and help. But watch out for that bolo.
Jumina, you just bet that I'll watch out for that bolo.
Here he comes.
Careful there, Jack. Close him on, yeah? Wait till I knock that bolo out of his head with this stick.
Oh, look out, Uncle Jim. He's trying to get you with that bolo.
He won't get me, Billy.
That's knocking the bolo from him, Uncle Jim. Come on, Billy. We can get him now.
Okay, let's go.
Let's bring him down, Jack. Here, I'll hold him down. You tie up his legs with
Watch
his
him, Jim.
line.
I got it, Uncle Jim. Up on his legs, Billy.
I'm trying.
Get up, boy. We'll have him hog-tied and have him till we got him now. Ain't Jack? He's not saying anything nice, Billy. There, that'll hold his legs.
Oh, yeah, pretty good now, Jack. Don't want to take any chances with him. Here, I'll pin his arms back.
Hand me the other end of that line, Billy. We'll fix him up proper.
Oh, he doesn't like this either, Jack. Holy smoke, do you see that look he's giving us? Oh, there's a dagger in every glance.
Take another turn around his wrist, Jack. That's the way. I'll make it fast and he'll get off it.
There, that'll hold him for a while. He won't get to the cave to get Maluo away.
We leave him here for the present, Jack. I want to step over to the edge of the cliff where Betty is and see if Malu has reached the cave yet. You and Billy come with me.
As long as we keep Makayo tied up, Maluo should be pretty safe. Makayo's the only one who knows that Maluo isn't really an old Moro peddler.
Well, don't forget that Gates and Karang know it, Jack. And it won't be long before Karang and his men will be here.
We'll hope that the soldiers get here first, Billy. Watch it now as you come out on this rocky ledge. Keep those trees between you and the cave. We don't want those tribesmen to see us.
Uncle Jim, look upstream. Way upstream where the trail comes down to the creek.
Holy smoke, there's a whole tribe of natives on the trail. Oh, they're coming this way, Uncle
Those
Jim.
are Karang's men, Billy. They'll be here in a little while. They'll track us right to this ledge. That means we've got to get to the other side of the cave and try to throw them off our scent. We'll pick up Betty and get started right away. Come on. We haven't a moment to lose.
So Karang and his men are going to reach the cave before help comes from the soldiers at Zambo Anga. That certainly puts Jack and Uncle Jim and the others in a dangerous position. They won't leave the cave as long as Lieutenant Rawlings is a prisoner inside. And if they do remain, Karang will certainly try to track them down. There's just one place where Jack and the others can hide, and that's a mighty dangerous place, too. Can you guess where it is? Well, you'll find out tomorrow. So listen in, all of you, at this same time tomorrow for another thrilling episode of the Zambo Anga adventure with Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Listen, if you want to have some real fun, I want you to do this for me right now. Tear off the top of a Wheaties package and send it, together with 1 dime, 10 cents in coin, and your name and address to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. In just a few days, you'll receive in the mail a genuine Jack Armstrong pedometer. Yes, you'll actually own a scientifically designed mechanical instrument for measuring the distance you walk. So don't wait. Send a Wheaties box top, together with 10 cents in coin, and your name and address to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Do it tonight.
Have you tried Wheaties? They're whole wheat with all of the bran.
This is Franklin McCormick saying goodbye until tomorrow for General Mills, makers of Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, who have just presented another episode of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
So just buy Wheaties, the best breakfast food in the land. Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand.
Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand. Every shall our team be champions known throughout the land.
Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, bring you the thrilling adventures of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Look, here are a couple of questions I'll bet will stump you. Ready for them? Okay, here they are. Can you tell me within a fraction of a mile just how far it is from your house to school? And can you tell me just how far you walk from the time you get out of bed in the morning until you go back to bed at night? Now, those are pretty hard questions to answer, but not if you own a Jack Armstrong pedometer. No, sir. If you own one of these amazing instruments, you can answer those questions and a lot more. You see, the Jack Armstrong pedometer is a scientifically designed instrument that records to within a fraction of a mile the distance you walk. It's not a toy. No, sir. Actual tests prove that the Jack Armstrong pedometer is just as accurate mile for mile as expensive professional pedometers for sale in many sporting goods stores. Shaped like a watch and finished in gleaming nickel, the Jack Armstrong pedometer actually counts the number of steps you take, totals them up, and automatically gives you the distance you travel in fractions of a mile. Why, I'm willing to bet you've never seen anything like it before. Now remember this. The genuine Jack Armstrong pedometer is for Jack Armstrong's friends and Jack Armstrong's friends alone. It's not for sale in any store in the United States. So if you're going to get in on all the fun this pedometer is handing out, this is your absolutely only and one opportunity. Why, once you've carried a Jack Armstrong pedometer on a hike or a camping trip, I'm willing to bet you wouldn't be without it again for anything. Now, just because the Jack Armstrong pedometer is so amazingly accurate, and just because it looks much like an expensive instrument, don't think it's hard to get one. Why, it's so simple that I'll bet you'll want to put your order in the mail this very night. Now, here's all you have to do to make a genuine Jack Armstrong pedometer your very own. Just tear the top off one Wheaties package and send it together with your name and address and 10 cents in coin to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Talk about easy. Why, there's just nothing to it. But if you want to be the first in your crowd to own a Jack Armstrong pedometer, you've got to act fast. So right now, before you do another thing, get your pedometer order ready to mail tonight. And now, Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Jack Armstrong and Billy, Betty, and Uncle Jim are making their way down a steep hillside through trees and thick bushes. They're in the wild hill country, the Zambo Anga Peninsula in Mindanao, and they're being pursued by a native chieftain, Karang, and his tribe. Below them is a mountain stream which curves around the hill like a horseshoe. On the other side of the hill is a cave where hostile tribes have smuggled rifles and ammunition to use in an uprising against the U.S. Army troops. This cave is guarded by fierce tribesmen who are holding Lieutenant Rawlings prisoner. Malua, disguised as a Moro peddler, has gone to the cave to get information about Lieutenant Rawlings. Jack and the others were waiting for Malua when Karang and his men appeared, and right now they're trying to throw Karang off their tracks. Listen.
Hey, Billy, why do you keep looking back up the hill so often? Jumping crickets, Jack. You haven't forgotten that Karang and his men will soon be coming over the top of that hill.
Not quite this soon, Billy. They haven't yet reached the place where we tied up Mikhail.
Well, they'll find Mikhail, won't they, Jack? They won't leave him to be chewed up by wild animals or something.
No, I wish they wouldn't find him. I wish he'd stay tied up until the soldiers came.
Karang and Yates will find him all right, Betty. They'll track us right to the place where we had that little scuffle. Here, we're down to the creek bottom. Give me your hand, Betty. I'll help you step down this little ledge.
Oh, thanks, Jack. I'm down now. Why, but I'm glad we're not going through any more bushes. Oh, what are you looking for, Uncle Jim?
I'm just looking around to get the lay of the land, Betty. Jack, take a look at your pedometer and see how far we've come since we left Mikhail tied up.
Just a second, Uncle Jim. We've come, let's see, just a little over half a mile.
I figure, right, we're a short distance downstream from that secret back entrance to the cave that Marlua told us about.
Oh, what's your plan, Uncle Jim? How are we going to get away from Karang and his men?
I'm going to try and lose our trail in this creek, Betty. And then if things work out right, we'll just disappear.
Disappear?
That's right, disappear.
I think I know what you mean, Uncle Jim. We're going to walk in the creek until we get to the secret entrance to the cave. Then we'll hide in the cave.
But jumping Jiminy gee whiz, we can't do that, Jack. The smuggled rifles are in that cave, and they're guarded by tribesmen.
And we know there must be some of the tribesmen in the cave, Uncle Jim. We know that Lieutenant Rawlings is a prisoner in the cave. They're sure to be guarding him.
That's right, Betty. But from what Marlua told me, this secret back entrance to the cave is just a small hole in the cliff on this side of the hill. There's a kind of small natural tunnel that winds under the hill and finally leads to the big cave. Only a few people know of the secret entrance.
Uncle Jim, that's a corking plan of yours. We lose our tracks in this stream, and we hide in the rear part of the cave until we see if we can help Lieutenant Rawlings. If Karang doesn't know the secret entrance, he'll never find us.
That's what I'm hoping, Jack. There's another thing to consider, too. Karang isn't going to lose any time in telling the natives guarding the cave that the old Moro peddler is really Marlua. We've got to warn Marlua of his danger if we possibly can.
Oh, yes, we must warn Marlua, Uncle Jim. It'd be too terrible if anything should happen to him.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get out in the creek and wade up to the secret entrance to the cave.
Not so fast, Billy. That entrance may be guarded by a sentry, and we don't know for sure that Karang will follow us down the creek. He may go directly to the cave as soon as he discovers Makayo.
Uncle Jim, why don't Billy and I scout ahead and see if the secret entrance is guarded?
That's what I want you to do, Jack. Betty and I'll stay here and see if we're being followed. You and Billy go ahead and see if the back entrance to that cave is guarded.
But suppose it is guarded, Uncle Jim.
If it is guarded, Betty, then we may have to find some way to get rid of the sentry. Jack, you've got your walkie-talkie radio set strapped to your back. Billy, leave your set with me. Then Jack and I can talk with each other after you get out of sight.
Oh, okay. Here's my radio, Uncle Jim. I'll help you sling it on your back.
You will be careful, won't you, Jack? You won't let them take you and Billy prisoner or anything?
You bet I'll be careful, Betty. And if anything goes wrong, I'll tell Uncle Jim right away with the walkie-talkie set.
There you are, Uncle Jim. Your walkie-talkie set is all strapped on you now. Don't forget to turn on the switch. Come on, Jack. Let's get going.
You know how to find the back entrance to the cave, don't you, Jack?
Yeah, Malua told me, Uncle Jim. Come on, Billy. We're going to wade up this stream so we won't leave any tracks.
Can we see the back entrance of the cave from here, Jack?
I don't think so, Billy. It's in a small cliff hidden by thick bushes.
But jumping Jupiter, Jack, there's nothing but small cliffs and thick bushes all along this side of the stream.
Malua said there were 2 trees right in front of it, Billy. It must be just around that slight bend in the stream. We'll see it in a minute.
What do we do if there's a native there, Jack?
I'll broadcast to Uncle Jim, Billy. Then we'll hide in the bushes somewhere until Uncle Jim comes.
I sure hope the sentry doesn't see us first. Boy, if he does, he'll hide somewhere until he has us cut off. Then he'll come at us with his bolo or something.
We'll have to watch out for that. Let's keep a little closer to shore, Billy.
Okay, Jack. Say, I think I see 2 trees just beginning to show up around the bend.
And we'd better stick close to the bushes. Here, we'll walk along the very edge of the creek, just enough so we don't leave any tracks.
Those are 2 trees, Jack. They're close together. See?
Those must be the 2 trees that guard the entrance, all right. See the clump of bushes behind them?
Say, I don't see any sentry there. Do you, Jack?
No, I don't see a sign of anybody, Billy. I guess they didn't think it was any use to place a sentry there. They never think that the soldiers or any other white man would know of that secret entrance.
But there may be somebody inside that entrance, Jack. Maybe he's posted in there where we can't see him.
We'll have to go there and find out, Billy.
Jack, I don't see Uncle Jim and Betty anymore. What happened to them?
We've come around the bend a little, Billy. They're still where we left them.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't be so nervous. I can't help thinking about Karang and his men.
We'd better think about this back entrance to the cave, Billy. We're almost through it.
Calling Jack Armstrong. Calling Jack Armstrong.
There's Uncle Jim speaking. I wonder what's up.
Jack speaking. Has anything happened, Uncle Jim?
Karang and his men have reached the top of the hill, Jack. They'll be coming down to the creek as soon as they pick up our trail again. Is there a sentry posted at the back entrance of the cave?
Not as far as I can tell, Uncle Jim. We're almost to the entrance now. There's not a sign of anybody.
Good. Then Betty and I'll come along right away.
All right. And say, Uncle Jim, why don't we both keep our switches on? I'll hang the mic around my neck. Then if anything happens, you'll hear all about it through the walkie-talkie.
That's a good idea, Jack. We'll do it. Signing off now.
Uncle Jim will hear every word I say from now on.
Oh, I guess that's a smart idea, all right. There doesn't seem to be anybody in those bushes.
We're going to find out right away, Billy. Here's where we leave the creek and climb up to the entrance. Come on.
I'm glad it's not very far up. This cliff is steep.
Just think of Karang and his men coming down the hill to the creek, Billy. This little cliff wouldn't stop you if you saw them.
Holy mackerel, I'll say it wouldn't. I hope Uncle Jim and Betty have plenty of time to get here before Karang gets down to the creek.
Uncle Jim and Betty will be here in a couple of minutes, Billy.
Who's that?
The tribesman, Billy. See? Behind us. He just stepped out of those bushes.
And Catfish, he's got a bull in his hand. He's coming towards us, Jack. Can't we get into the cave?
That wouldn't do any good, Billy. We've got to get rid of him.
Jumping Jiminy. I'd like to get rid of that bolo first.
I'm going back to meet him, Billy. I'll offer him a present or something. I'll try to keep his attention on me until Uncle Jim gets here. Come on.
I'm with you, Jack. But how'll Uncle Jim ever know?
He's heard every word I've said, Billy. He'll come up through the bushes. We've got to keep this sentry interested in us until Uncle Jim gets here.
I heard, Jack. Be careful. Stall him off. I'm coming as fast as I can.
Crickets, I wish I knew what he was saying. He looks awfully fierce.
He's probably asking us what we're doing here. Do you speak English?
I guess that means he doesn't speak English, Jack.
I'll offer him something, Billy. I've got it. I'll offer him the pedometer. He'll think it's a watch of some kind at first. Here, let me get it off my belt.
Hurry, Jack. He thinks you're getting out a pistol or something. I don't like the way he's waving that bolo around.
He won't attack us yet, Billy. He'll want to see what I'm offering him first. Here, you. Wouldn't you like to have this pedometer? See, it's round and bright like a watch. It tells how far you walk. Every Zambo Anga tribesman should have one.
He doesn't understand a word you say, Jack.
Of course he doesn't, Billy, but he's interested in the pedometer just the same. See? He's lowered his bolo.
I wish he'd tuck it away in his sash. People get hurt playing around with those things.
I knew you'd like to look at it. Here, listen to it click when I move it up and down.
He wants to play with it himself, Jack. You better give it to him.
There you are. Look at him play with it, Billy. Say, do you see any sign of Uncle Jim?
Shh, Jack.
A friend can't understand English, Billy. See? He thinks I'm talking to him because I'm looking at him. You look around for Uncle Jim.
Oh, I see him, Jack. He's almost here.
Good. Here, let me show you how to wear that pedometer. You stick it in your sash. This way, see? Now, every time you take a step, it goes tick-tock. And you read how far you walk on the dial.
Keep on talking to him, Jack. Uncle Jim is just about here.
Well, what do you think of it? Do you like it?
Watch it, Jack. Watch it. Uncle Jim is about to grab him.
Here! Good. Now, Uncle Jim. Now, watch it. There, you got his eye. Come on, I'll take his bolo now. Good. All right, I'll get his bolo. He won't hurt anybody. Go over there on the back. Now, let's tie him up. Easy, Jack. Oh, we've really got it.
Now, the sentry's taken care of. Let's go in the secret entrance of the cave and see if we can find Malua.
Well, they've taken care of that sentry all right. He's tied up and gagged, and they won't have to worry about him for a while. But where is Karang and his men? They must be about down to the creek by this time, and then they'll try to pick up the trail again. By that time, Jack and Uncle Jim and the others will be somewhere in the cave of the smuggled rifles. And I don't have to tell you that that cave isn't the safest place in the world for them. There's an especially exciting time ahead, and you can bet you'll want to be there. So listen in, all of you, at this same time next Monday for another thrilling episode of the Zambo Anga Adventure with Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Listen, there isn't a minute to lose. Not if you're going to get in on all the fun that's going around. Yes, I'm urging you to send for your Jack Armstrong pedometer tonight. So do this right now. Remind Mother to get you a couple of packages of Wheaties in a hurry. Then tear off the top of one Wheaties package and mail it together with 10 cents in coin and your name and address to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Get your order for a Jack Armstrong pedometer in the mail right now.
Have you tried Wheaties? They're whole wheat with all the bran.
This is Franklin McCormick saying goodbye until tomorrow for General Mills, makers of Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, who have just presented another episode of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
So just buy Wheaties, the best breakfast food in the land. Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand.
Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand. Ever shall our team be champions, known throughout the land.
Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, bring you the thrilling adventures of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Say, have you been getting as excited and steamed up as I have about the remarkable instrument Jack Armstrong is carrying on his adventures? Well, I mean the mechanical pedometer Jack uses to measure the mile he travels through the Philippine jungles. I'll bet you'd like to own a pedometer like Jack's, too. And golly, I don't blame you. It's just about the handiest instrument a fellow or girl could want. Just think of it. Here's a small metal case, not much bigger than a pocket watch, fitted out with a special mechanism that registers every single step you take, adds up the steps into miles and fractions of miles, and shows you the distance you walk any place you want to go. Now, maybe you've seen pedometers for sale in stores. You wanted to carry one on hikes and camping trips, but they cost a lot of money, and so you couldn't buy one. Well, what do you say to this? I'm going to arrange for you to own a genuine automatic pedometer like the one Jack Armstrong carries. A pedometer that is just as accurate, just as reliable, mile for mile, as other more expensive pedometers you may have seen. And you're going to get this fine Jack Armstrong pedometer for only 10 cents in cash and the top from a package of Wheaties. Boy, I wish you could see the Jack Armstrong pedometer. See what a handsome, well-made, sturdy instrument it really is. Why, all you've got to do is look at it just once, then give it a careful test on your next hike or walking expedition, and I know you'll agree that Jack Armstrong pedometer is great stuff. This Jack Armstrong model is made entirely of metal, finished in gleaming nickel plate with a 3-color instrument dial. As you walk, the dial slowly turns, checking off the miles you travel, very much like the speedometer on an automobile. The pedometer, which is fitted with a special clip that attaches to your pocket or belt, gives mileage readings adjusted to your own individual stride. What's more, the case is embossed with a nameplate where you can print your own name. Now, I don't need to tell you that our supply of these dandy pedometers will be snapped up in a hurry. Thousands of fellows and girls will want them, and if you're going to be among the first in your crowd to carry a genuine automatic pedometer on hiking and camping trips, you've got to act fast, and I mean fast. Now remember, the Jack Armstrong pedometer is yours for only 10 cents in cash and a Wheaties box top. Here's how to send your order. Get a package of Wheaties, those extra good flakes of real whole wheat, and cut the top off the Wheaties package. Put this Wheaties box top in a stamped envelope with a 10-cent piece and your name and address. Then mail to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Have you got that? 1 Wheaties box top and 1 dime, 10 cents in cash with your name and address. Send to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, don't wait until the supply is all gone. Get your pedometer now while the getting's good. And now, Jack Armstrong, the all-American boy. Jack and Billy and Uncle Jim have just surprised the Filipino tribesmen who guarded the rear entrance to a large cave in the hill country, the Zambo Anga Peninsula in Mindanao. In this cave are hidden a large supply of smuggled rifles, which the hostile tribes of Zambo Anga had planned to use in an uprising against the U.S. Army troops. The main entrance to this cave is on the other side of the hill and is guarded by one of the hostile tribes. Meliua, disguised as a Moro peddler, is somewhere in the cave, as is also Lieutenant Rawlings, who is held prisoner. Right now, as Jack and Uncle Jim tie and gag the sentry, they're keeping a sharp lookout downstream for signs of another hostile tribe, led by Karang, who is pursuing them. Listen.
There, Uncle Jim. This tribesman won't bother us. I've got his wrist tied behind his back.
That should hold him, Jack. How about that gag, Billy? You got it fixed so he can't shout for help?
He won't shout for anything, Uncle Jim. He'll be as quiet as a mouse as long as we keep that gag in his mouth.
Fine. Now, where's Betty? I told her to stay in those bushes until we took care of the sentry.
Here I am, Uncle Jim.
You can join us now, Betty. Pick up that bolo we took from the sentry and throw away. Be careful with it. It's a mighty sharp weapon.
What do we do now, Uncle Jim? Karang and his men will be in sight in just a minute or two.
We're going to carry out our original plan, Billy. We're going to hide in the back entrance to the cave until the soldiers come to rescue Lieutenant Rawlings.
But maybe Karang will know about this secret entrance to the cave, Uncle Jim.
We'll have to take a chance on that, Betty. Let's see now. That little back end should be hidden behind those bushes just above us.
That's where it is, Uncle Jim. Billy and I saw it just before this sentry appeared.
Good. We'll get up there and into the back of the cave right away. Give me that bolo, Betty. I want to look as fierce as possible so our prisoner won't give us any trouble.
Well, here's the bolo, Uncle Jim. My, but I'd hate to fight anybody who had one of these things in his hand.
So would I, Betty. Now we'll see if this native understands the sign language of the bolo. Come along, you. We're going up into that cave.
He sees what you're pointing at, Uncle Jim. See how surprised he looks. Jumpin' Jiminy, I'll bet he's surprised. He wouldn't expect us to be going into the cave where the rifles are hidden and where Lieutenant Rawlings is prisoner and where all of the other tribesmen are.
But then he doesn't know what we know, Billy. He doesn't know that in just about 1 minute, Karang and his men are going to come up that creek looking for us.
He gets the idea. He's standing up now. I'll stay in front of him, Jack, to make sure he doesn't make a break when we get inside the cave. You and Billy stay behind him to keep him from making a break back to the creek. You stay with me, Betty. Come on.
Jack, I hope Manuel was right when he said the back entrance to this cave was a natural tunnel. It'd be just too bad if we popped inside the entrance and found ourselves right in the big cave.
That would be a bad break, Billy. But this entrance is so small that it must be just a small tunnel.
Look, Jack, Uncle Jim is giving Betty a hand up that steep slope. We'd better keep an eye on this native and see that he doesn't try any tricks.
I'm watching him. He can't do much with his hands tied behind his back. There, Betty's up. They're going through the bushes that hide the entrance.
Be careful with these bushes when you come through, Jack. We don't want to break them or disturb their natural appearance.
Well, be careful, Uncle Jim. Say, Billy, where's my pedometer? It isn't on my belt.
Oh, don't you remember? You gave it to the sentry to look at, Jack, when we were trying to distract his attention.
That's right, Billy. He had it when Uncle Jim surprised him from behind. He must have dropped it at the same spot. I've got to go back and get it.
Oh, holy smoke, Jack. Carrong and his men will be in sight almost any moment.
We can't afford to lose that pedometer, Billy. Uncle Jim.
What is it, Jack?
I think that sentry dropped my pedometer during that scuffle. Don't you think I'd better go back and look for it?
Perhaps you had, Jack. That pedometer's going to be very useful when we get into the interior. I'll wait here and keep an eye on our prisoner. Make it fast.
I'll be back in a minute, Billy.
I'll come with you, Jack.
You'd better hurry. If Carrang gets here before we get in this cave, it's going to be too bad for us.
Come on, Billy. We'll slide down there in half a jiffy. Watch this loose stone.
I don't see any sign of Carrong and his men down the creek yet, Jack.
Neither do I, Billy. Look, there's the pedometer right below us. I hope it didn't get broken when he dropped it on that rock.
That's a pretty tough instrument to break, Jack. Just think what it's been through since we got it.
Here we are. Let's see if it's still working. Yep, still registers when I move. Listen, Billy, I'm going to wait out in the creek a little and find out if I can see around the bend. Maybe Carrang and his men have reached the creek and are coming here now.
Okay, Jack, but hurry.
It won't take a second, Billy.
What's Jack doing, Billy?
He's going out in the creek to see if Carrang is coming, Uncle Jim. Do you see anything, Jack?
That's it, Billy. Wait a minute. There are a couple of men coming this way. They're looking along the edge of the bank to pick up our tracks.
Suffering catfish, come on back, Jack. We've got to get into the cave before they get here.
You bet I'm coming back. You start back up, Billy. I'll be right behind you.
Okay, Jack. I'll tell Uncle Jim.
Jack see anyone, Billy?
He saw two men, Uncle Jim. They were looking along the edge of the creek for our tracks.
They won't find any there, but hurry up. Jack's climbing up behind you.
Billy, will they get inside before Jack gets back up here?
Oh, I don't know, Betty. I didn't see them. I don't know how far away they are.
Come on through these bushes, Billy. Here's the entrance to the cave right here. It's just a hole in the cliff. Don't break off any bushes.
I do wish Jack would hurry. If Carrang sees us, there won't be anything we can do.
Look out, Betty. I can't get through this hole while you stand there. Jiminy, but it's dark in here. Where's Uncle Jim and the sentry?
Here I am, Billy, standing by our prisoner. Is Jack almost up?
I'll be up in half a jiffy, Uncle Jim. Here, Jack. Crawl through the bushes right here. Watch your step.
This is a small tunnel, isn't it? These bushes keep out so much light I can't see much. Oh, there you are, Uncle Jim.
Move over a little, Jack. I want to be able to see out in these bushes. How many men did you say there were?
I just saw two men, Uncle Jim. I think one of them was Yates. I couldn't be sure. I didn't want to give him a chance to see me.
Were they coming right here, Jack? Do they know where we are?
They haven't even picked up our tracks yet, Betty.
Carrang lost our tracks as soon as we hit the creek. He knew that we waited along the creek, either upstream or downstream. So he probably has men searching in both directions until they pick up our tracks again.
Good for him, Uncle Jim. Do you think they'll pick up our tracks right below us here?
I hope not, Billy. The shore's all rocky there, and we wouldn't leave any tracks. But if they hunt around all day, they'll find something to tell them where we've gone.
But maybe the soldiers will find the cave first, Uncle Jim. They must be on the way by this time.
It may take them a little while to find this cave, Betty. And in the meanwhile, we've got to make sure that no harm comes to Lieutenant Rawlings.
We've got to find Manuel, too, Uncle Jim. We've got to tell him that Carrang and Yates have come. It won't be safe for Manuel when they discover his disguise. No, but how on earth will we ever find Manuel so we can warn him?
Look, Uncle Jim. There are those two men coming up the creek now. You can see them through the bush that hides this hole in the cliff.
One of them is Yates. The other's some tribesman.
They're coming pretty fast, Uncle Jim. They'll be in front of this cave in just a minute.
The faster, the better, Betty. They won't pick up any tracks at the rate they're moving. They probably think we're still waiting in the stream somewhere.
There's some more men coming up the creek. And look, there's some men coming into view on the far side of the creek.
They're spreading out, Jack. They don't know whether we crossed the creek or not.
But what will we do if they find our tracks, Uncle Jim?
We'll just back up into this tunnel and try to hide from them, Betty.
Jumping crickets, it's a pretty small tunnel to hide in. It's only about 8 feet high and a couple of feet wide.
No, but it may spread out when it gets into the hill further, Billy. There may be all sorts of side tunnels in this cave.
We know that it must go into the big cave where the smuggled rifles are hidden. And that's probably where Lieutenant Rawlings is held prisoner.
Maybe Manuel is in the big cave now, Uncle Jim.
I suspect he is, Betty. You'll find a chance to talk to Rawlings if he can.
But how far is the big cave from this back entrance?
Oh, it must be quite a distance, Billy. It's on the other side of the hill, you know.
Quiet now. Don't speak above a whisper. Yates and that tribesman are getting close to us.
We'll soon find out if they know about this secret entrance to the cave.
I think we'd better explore this tunnel a little and see what we've got under this hill.
Let Billy and me do it, Uncle Jim. We'll go into it just as quietly as we can. And you can stay here and guard this sentry. Hey, that's a swell idea, Uncle Jim. You let us, won't you?
All right, Jack. You and Billy go as far as you safely can into this tunnel and see what you can find out. If Karang and his men discover our tracks, we'll need some place to hide.
What are we waiting for, Jack? Come on.
Just a minute, Billy. You and Jack have to be as careful as you've ever been in your lives. Remember that somewhere under the hill, this tunnel opens into the big cave. There's sure to be some fierce tribesmen in that cave, and if they ever suspect that somebody's come in through the secret entrance, then it's all up.
We'll be careful, Uncle Jim. I won't use this flashlight except when I have to, and I'll keep it shielded with my hand then. If we can get to where we can see inside the big cave without being seen, we'll take a look and then come back.
All right, Jack. I'll be right here with Betty and my prisoner.
Come on, Billy. Be careful now. Pick up your feet so you won't stumble over any loose rock. Oh, Jack, you'd think I was always stumbling over something. No, Billy, but this is one time when we just can't stumble over anything. Especially when we get close to the big cave. It's getting pitch dark, Jack. Jiminy crickets, part of the wall got my knee. Can't you use your light very carefully? I'll flash it on just a second at a time, Billy. There. Does that help any? It'd help more if you didn't keep your hand over the light, Jack. I have to do that, Billy. We don't know how close we are to the big cave. If we're too close and I flash the light full, someone may see it. Watch it. This tunnel's turning. Oh, I got the other knee this time. I guess I'd better turn with the tunnel, Jack. It's turning quite a bit. I can't even see the spot of light through the bushes where Uncle Jim is. Hey, Billy, what's that? What, Jack? I don't see anything. But don't you hear something, Billy? Don't you hear some footsteps way ahead of us, coming toward us? Jumping Jiminy gee whiz, yes, I hear them, Jack. Somebody is coming this way. What are we going to do? We're going to stay right here and wait for him, Billy. And when he comes, then we're going to jump him. Quiet now. Don't make a sound. We'll take him by surprise.
Say, who is that person coming along the dark tunnel under the hill? Why has he left the big cave to come to the secret entrance in the back? I don't have to tell you that there are going to be exciting things happening in that cave very soon. And don't forget that Karang and his men are still trying to pick up the tracks of Jack and the others. If they do, well, that cave is going to be too small for everybody concerned. So be on hand at this same time tomorrow for another thrilling episode of the Zambo Anga adventure with Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Now, don't miss this big chance to get yourself a genuine automatic pedometer like Jack Armstrong's. Send a dime, 10 cents in cash, with one Wheaties box top, and your name and address to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'll promise you some of the best fun you've ever had when you get your pedometer. Ask for Wheaties and send today.
Have you tried Wheaties? They're whole wheat with all of our brand.
This is Franklin McCormick saying goodbye until tomorrow for General Mills, makers of Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, who have just presented another episode of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
So just buy Wheaties, the best breakfast food in the land. Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand.
Jack Armstrong! Jack Armstrong!
Jack Armstrong! Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand. Ever shall our team be champions, known throughout the land.
Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, bring you the thrilling adventures of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Go on, it is, too. Guess I ought to know.
Listen, I've walked down there hundreds of times, and I'm telling you it's 3.5 miles even.
Hey, what's the trouble here, you fellas?
Oh, he says it's 3.5 miles to the Hill Street Firehouse across town, and I say it's 5 miles.
Well, now, you're not going to get any place by arguing. Why not let me help you? I've got the answer right here in my hand. Listen.
Hey, what's making that clicking noise? Open your hand, let's see.
Hey, it's some kind of metal instrument with a dial on it. I know, it's a pedometer.
Pedometer? Oh, yeah, I've seen those things in the stores. They measure the number of miles you walk. And golly, they're awful expensive.
Cheapers, isn't that a honey, though? What makes it work, anyhow?
Well, you can see for yourself. That dial on the front is graduated into miles and fractions of miles. You fasten the pedometer to your belt or pocket. See, here's a special clip. And you start walking. The mechanism inside begins to work, and the dial turns slowly like this. Now, just by looking at the dial, you can read your own mileage and tell how far you've walked. A quarter mile, a mile, 2, 3, 4, and so on, up to 5 miles.
Boy, what I'd give to own one of those pedometers.
Yeah, think of the fun we'd have if we both had one. Why, we could measure how far we walk on hikes and to school and back, and maybe we could be official mile recorders for the rest of the gang and keep track of how far we travel on camping trips. You know, I'm going to start saving my money for one now.
Listen, fella, have you got a dime in your pocket?
Yeah, I've got a dime, all right.
Do you have a package of Wheaties at home?
You bet I have. Well, I eat Wheaties every morning.
Well, then you can get yourself a Jack Armstrong pedometer like the one I have here, and all it's going to cost you is 10 cents in cash and one Wheaties box top. Not only that, but I'll promise you that this Jack Armstrong pedometer is just as accurate for measuring miles as some of the most expensive pedometers you could buy.
Well, what do you know? The swellest pedometer I've seen yet. And all it costs is a dime and a Wheaties box top. Where can I get one?
Well, just send your 10 cents and the Wheaties box top to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. You'll get your pedometer in a hurry.
Where's that we send to?
Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And don't forget to include your own name and address with your order. And another thing, you've got to act fast. These pedometers won't last long when all the fellas and girls hear about them.
Well, what are we waiting for? I'm going to send for my pedometer right away. That's the dandiest offer I've heard of in a blue moon.
You bet it is. And I'm advising everybody to get on the job and order now. They're going fast. And now, Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Mysterious footsteps are approaching Jack Armstrong and Billy as they wait in the darkness of a hillside tunnel in the wild Zambo Anga Peninsula. Behind them, Uncle Jim and Betty are watching a native sentinel they captured as he guarded the secret entrance to the tunnel. Ahead of them, somewhere in the darkness, is the cave where hostile tribesmen have hidden the smuggled rifles they hope to use in an uprising against the U.S. Army troops. Also in this cave, Lieutenant Rawlings is held prisoner. Jack and Billy had hoped to explore this cave before the pursuing car run tracks them down. But now, listen.
Jumping Jiminy gee whiz, Jack. Who do you suppose is coming toward us? Billy, that's so loud. We don't want him to even guess that we're here until he gets here. Maybe it's one of the tribesmen coming to relieve the sentry, Jack. I'm afraid that's who he is, Billy. I wish it weren't so dark in here, Jack. If we could only see who it is and how he's armed, we'd know what to do. I can guess how he's armed, Billy, and I know what we're going to do. He's probably armed with a bolo in his sash, and we're going to jump him and get that bolo away from him the very first thing. Well, what'll we do then, Jack? We haven't anything to tie him with, and we can't take him along with us. We couldn't even take him back to Uncle Jim. We won't take him anywhere, Billy. We'll hold him here. Uncle Jim will hear the scuffle, and he'll come here to help us. He's getting awfully close, Jack. You stay on this side of the tunnel, Billy. I'll get on the other side. When I give the word, we'll jump him. You dive for his legs, and I'll try to get that bolo from him in the dark. All right, I'm in place now. Tackle him when I give the word. You bet I'll tackle him, Jack. But don't you forget to get that bolo from him. Watch it now, Billy. He's almost here. Okay, Billy, jump it. Wait, he's Manuel. Hold it, Billy. It's Manuel. Manuel? Suffering catfish. Is it really you, Manuel?
It's me, Billy. Why are you here, huh?
Oh, it's quite a story, Manuel. Why are you here? We thought you'd be in the big cave.
We been in cave, Jack. We find out many things.
But why are you coming here, Manuel? You didn't know that we'd been here.
That's right, Billy. Me not know. Me come here for see if this place guarded. Me think maybe me get Lieutenant Rawlings out this way if not guarded.
Well, it was guarded, Manuel. It was guarded by one sentry. But we captured him, and now he's tied up at the back entrance to this tunnel.
That good, Jack. That very good. Where Uncle Jim, huh? Where Betty?
Uncle Jim and Betty are at the end of the tunnel guarding the sentry. And they're keeping an eye on Karang and his men, too, Manuel.
What that be? Karang and his men come here?
Oh, you're darn tootin' they've come here. They picked up our tracks and followed us down to the creek. They're looking for us now.
That bad, Billy. That very bad. Maybe they find out where you are. What you do then, huh?
But what'll you do, Manuel, when they tell the other tribesmen here that you really aren't an old Moro peddler?
That bad too, Jack. When they find out me not peddler, when they find out me Mayowa, then they try hard get me.
Jiminy, I'll bet they'll try to get you. If they know that you're really a chieftain and a friend of Sultan Natang,
Everybody in Mindanao know name of Malua, Billy. But not everybody see Malua. We go now to Uncle Jim and Betty, huh?
We'll take you to them, Malua. It's only a little ways back along this tunnel. But how far are we from the big cave? Is it safe to use the flashlight here?
We long way from big cave, Jack. It's all right for shine light.
Good. Yeah, that helps a lot. You can see where we're walking now. Come on, Billy. We're going back to Uncle Jim.
But what about Lieutenant Rawlings, Mary? Was he alive? Is he all right? How many tribesmen are there in that cave? And did you see the rifles they've smuggled in?
You tongue too big, Billy. Ask too many questions all one time. You wait till see Uncle Jim. Then me tell everything.
We'll be there in a jiffy, Malua. Here's the last turn in the tunnel. See? There's daylight ahead of us, seeping through the bushes that hide the entrance to the tunnel.
And here's Uncle Jim and Betty. Hold your light on them, Jack. Uncle Jim was wondering why we'd come back so soon.
Is that you, Jack? Who's that you've got with you?
We've got Malua with us, Uncle Jim.
Malua? Where'd you find him?
He was coming this way. He wanted to see if the tunnel was guarded.
No, Malua. Glad to see you. I suppose Jack has told you why we're here in this little tunnel.
Jack, tell me, Uncle Jim.
And here's the sentry we had to capture. He's gagged, and I've tied him hand and foot.
And I'm here too, Malua. We're all here except the pack horse.
Me not glad see you, Betty. Me wish you long way from here. You not safe here.
But, Malua, I don't want to be one bit safer than Jack and Billy and Uncle Jim are. And we're a lot safer than Lieutenant Rawlings. At least we haven't been captured yet.
Now you can tell us all that you found out, Malua, about Lieutenant Rawlings and the rifles and the rest of it.
Lieutenant Rawlings prisoner, Jack. He tied up tight in back of big cave.
But golly, Malua, are they going to do anything to him?
Me not know, Billy. But me think maybe yes. He know too much.
We all know too much when it comes to that. We know they've smuggled in those rifles to revolt against the government.
Did you see the rifles, Malua?
Oh, me see them, Jack. They got many rifle. That very bad. Me glad you send message to soldier, Uncle Jim.
Oh, I hope the soldiers got our message. I hope they're on the way.
Let's take a look through these bushes outside and see how Karang's men are coming along. But be careful. Don't expose yourself to view. Billy, you and Betty wait there.
Look, Uncle Jim. There are dozens of Karang's men on this side of the creek.
Yes, and they're all examining every foot of the bank. What do you think, Malua? Do you think they can pick up our tracks on that rocky shore?
Me think yes, Uncle Jim. They find us soon.
Then we'd better start looking for a hiding place somewhere in this cave, Uncle Jim. If we can hide for a while longer, the soldiers may get here.
Soldier not get here in time, Jack. Me know that.
I'm afraid Manua's right about that, Jack.
Maybe me fool Karang for a little while, Uncle Jim.
How, Manua? How can you hold off Karang for a little while?
Me take off all peddler clothes. Me put on sentry clothes. Maybe they think me sentry.
But they'll know your face, Malua. At least Yates will. He's here with Karang. He'll be able to recognize you.
Maybe no, Jack. Me got face paint. Me fix up face all different. Maybe Yates not know me.
That's a good plan, Malua. If you can make them believe that you're the regular sentry, they may not come into the tunnel.
Me tell them me no see you. Me tell them they all fool. Then maybe they go somewhere else and look for a little while.
All right, Malua, we'll try it. Come on, Jack. We'll get back and let Malua switch clothes with that sentry.
It won't take long for him to switch clothes, Uncle Jim. All the sentry's wearing is a pair of pants and a sash for his bolo.
I hope Malua can change his face so Yates can't recognize him.
Yates didn't recognize him when he looked like an old Moro peddler. Well, Malua, here's your sentry. Do you need any help?
Me no need help, Jack. Me change clothes very soon.
But what is Malua going to do? Why is he taking off his turban?
Come over here with me, Betty. I'll tell you.
Jumping Jiminy Gee Whiz, Betty. I've got it. Malua's going to pretend to be the sentry. Is that right, Jack?
That's right, Billy. If he fools them, we may keep Karang and his men out of here until the soldiers arrive.
Oh, I think it's a wonderful idea. But if Yates sees him...
Malua thinks he can change his face with paint so Yates can't recognize him, Betty.
Then what do we do, Uncle Jim? Do we just wait here for the soldiers to arrive?
Not in your life, Billy. I think that Lieutenant Rawlings is in real danger. It may prove risky, but we've got to save him if we possibly can. There. I think Malua's changed his clothes now. Flash your light over there, Jack.
There we are. Say, look at the sentry. He's all dressed up like a Moro peddler.
And Malua's all dressed up like a sentry. But he still has the face of an old Moro peddler.
He's wiping off the paint, Billy. Look, now he has his regular face again. We'll have to do something about that.
He's doing it, Betty. See? He's working with Luggs for some kind of paint. Watch how he's changing the lines of his cheeks.
Hold your light on him, Jack. Holy mackerel, he's a different man now. Malua's a genius when it comes to makeup.
And I'll bet that's why he's still alive, Billy. Are you all set, Malua?
Me all fish, Jack. You like, huh?
It's perfect, Malua. Here's that bolo I took from the sentry. Stick that in your sash.
That very good, Uncle Jim. Come, we look outside. See if they find track yet.
You look just like any of the other tribesmen, Manuel. No one will ever recognize you.
Maybe yes, maybe no. Only one man know what Manuel look like.
You mean Yates, don't you, Manuel?
That's right, Jack. If we fool Yates, we fool everybody.
Don't crowd in, Billy. There's just room for 3 of us to look out. Careful now, Jack.
I'll be careful, Uncle Jim. Look, 2 of Carlong's men have spotted our tracks at the edge of the creek. They're calling to the others.
They've seen something, all right. And there's Carrong and Yates coming up on the run.
They're looking up here, Uncle Jim. They're looking at these bushes that hide the entrance to the tunnel.
They'll be up this way in just a minute. Well, Manuel, it's up to you.
Me not afraid, Uncle Jim.
They've started up now, Uncle Jim. We'd better draw back in the tunnel a little so they can't possibly see us.
All right, Jack. Here, you can see from here.
Me go now. Me go ask why they come here. Me be very mad. Me tell them they fool.
Okay, Manuel, lay it on thick. Good luck to you.
Yates is the only man I'm worried about, Jack. He may recognize Manuel.
And Yates is going to be the very first man up here, too, Uncle Jim. No, Carrong is with him. Look, they see Manuel coming down to meet them.
You see Manuel. He's laying down the law to them.
And they're taking him, too. They don't suspect a thing yet.
Yates and Carrong are close enough to see Manuel now, but not even Yates suspects that he's Manuel.
I think Manuel's making them believe that we didn't come this way, Uncle Jim. Look, Yates and Carrong are going back down again. They're going back to the creek. It worked, Uncle Jim. It worked like a charm.
It looks that way, Jack. As long as Manuel stays here, we're safe for a while. And now, come on. We've got a real job ahead of us.
You mean?
I mean, we're going to make our way through this tunnel to the big cave and see what we can do to help Lieutenant Rawlings. Come on.
Well, Carrong and his men have been held off for a little while. But that doesn't mean they won't come back. And say, Jack and Billy and Betty and Uncle Jim have a tough job ahead of them if they're going to help Lieutenant Rawlings. They're going through that long, dark tunnel now to the other side of the hill where it opens into the big cave. And that's just where you'll want to be when they get there, because exciting things are going to happen. So listen in, all of you, at this same time tomorrow to another thrilling episode of the Zambo Anga Adventure with Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Now, get yourself a package of Wheaties right away. You'll need the top from that Wheaties package and 1 dime, 10 cents in cash to get yourself a real automatic pedometer that measures the distance you travel every time you take a walk. Send the dime and a Wheaties box top with your name and address to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we'll see that you get your pedometer in a hurry.
Have you tried Wheaties? They're whole wheat with all of the bran.
This is Franklin McCormick saying goodbye until tomorrow for General Mills, makers of Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, who have just presented another episode of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
So just buy Wheaties, the best breakfast food in the land. Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them. Jack Armstrong! Jack Armstrong! Jack Armstrong!
Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand. Ever shall our team be champions, known throughout the land.
Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, bring you the thrilling adventures of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. You know, once in a while you get a piece of news that sounds almost too good to be true. And I'll bet that's the way you feel about this sensational offer we're making right now to all good friends of Jack Armstrong. Just imagine, we're giving you this special opportunity, a chance you may never have again, to own a genuine mechanical pedometer like the one Jack Armstrong carries on his adventures. A precision-made instrument that tells you in miles and fractions of miles the distance you travel on hikes, camping expeditions, and every walking trip you take, whether it's 5 miles or around a few blocks. Now, if you were to go into a downtown store and price the expensive pedometers they have for sale, you'd find you'd have to pay a good deal of money for them. Yes, fine pedometers can cost a lot. That's why you can get really excited about the news I have for you. Listen, I've arranged for you to get a Jack Armstrong pedometer, a handsome, sturdy instrument that's been tested against some of the best-known and most expensive pedometers on the market and found to be just as accurate in measuring miles as the high-priced models. And here's the big surprise. This Jack Armstrong pedometer is yours for only 10 cents in cash and the top from one package of Wheaties. The pedometer case is made of sheet steel, brightly nickel-plated, with a mechanism of steel and solid brass. The revolving dial on the front of the instrument is lithographed in 3 colors and gives mileage readings adjusted to your individual stride. Also built into the pedometer, you'll find a strong clip for attaching the instrument to your belt or pocket while walking, and an embossed nameplate where you can print your own name. Now, I don't need to tell you what a lot of fun you can have carrying a real pedometer with you everywhere you go. Why, you can probably think of dozens of ways that this handy little device will be mighty useful to you. But listen, thousands and thousands of fellows and girls will be sending for these pedometers, and unless you make up your mind to order now, you may miss this chance of a lifetime. So here's what to do. Rush right over to the grocery store and get yourself a package of those extra good Wheaties flakes. Send the top from the Wheaties package with 1 dime, 10 cents in cash, and your name and address to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. But don't wait. Supplies of these dandy pedometers are strictly limited, and it's first come, first served. You must get your order in right away. And now, Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Jack Armstrong, Billy, Betty, and Uncle Jim are cautiously feeling their way along a dark tunnel in the wild Zambo Anga hill country. Behind them, at the secret entrance to the tunnel, their faithful friend Malua, disguised as a native sentry, is standing guard to prevent Karang and his tribesmen from following Jack and the others into the tunnel. Ahead of them lies the cave where scores of fierce tribesmen are guarding the rifles they've smuggled in to use in an uprising against the government. In this cave, Lieutenant Rawlings is held prisoner by the tribesmen, and Uncle Jim fears that he needs help immediately. Now, Jack and Uncle Jim are carefully leading the way through the narrow tunnel with Billy and Betty close behind them. Listen.
Jack, but it's dark in here. Can't you use your flashlight for just a little bit?
I'm afraid to shine a flashlight now, Billy. I think we're getting pretty close to the big cave. Some of the tribesmen in there might see the light if we used it.
After all, Billy, it's Jack and Uncle Jim who are leading the way. They'll be the first to stumble over anything, if there's anything to stumble over.
There's not much to stumble over in this tunnel, Betty. Once in a while, we bark our elbows against the side of the tunnel. But that's better than letting the tribesmen know we're here.
If we're going to help Lieutenant Rawlings, we can't let anybody know we're here. Look out. The tunnel makes a turn here. Don't smack into the sides, Billy.
I'm keeping right in your footsteps, Jack. Jiminy, it isn't so dark ahead now.
We must be getting very close to the big cave, Billy.
But I thought the big cave would be dark and all that, Betty, except maybe for a torch or two.
There's evidently some daylight getting into it, Billy.
What we see is probably just reflected daylight, Uncle Jim. I hope the cave isn't lighted up too well.
Oh, yes, I hope it's all sort of dim. Then maybe we can get a chance to talk to Lieutenant Rawlings without anybody seeing us.
Say, Betty, you don't want very much. We'll be lucky if we can even see him without being seen ourselves.
But we've got to be able to talk to him, Billy, if we're going to help him at all. And he's probably tied up, and we'll have to untie him and all that.
It seems to me that we're crossing a lot of bridges before we get to them. We'll try to take a look around after we get to the big cave and see how things are.
Gosh, oh, Willikins, I wonder what's happening at the back end of the tunnel. If Karang ever discovers that the sentries guarding that secret entrance is really Malua, he'll be yourn a jiffy. And then we'll have Karang and his men in back of us and those tribesmen in front of us.
Well, they haven't discovered it yet, Billy. Maybe the soldiers from Pettit Barracks will find this cave before Karang discovers it. Say, Uncle Jim, that light ahead of us is getting a little stronger.
We're getting close to the big cave, Jack. Suppose you walk close to your side of the tunnel, close enough to feel it with your hands. I'll do the same on my side. If there are any deep niches on either side, we want to know about them. We may have to find a good hiding place before we're through.
That's a good idea, Uncle Jim. Here, I can touch the side of the tunnel now. I'll keep on touching it as I walk along and see if I can find anything.
Boy, oh boy, a good hiding place would be swell to have handy if those tribesmen ever suspected we're inside here.
We wouldn't stay hidden very long, Billy, but every moment helps. Those soldiers should be well on their way by this time if Michelle got our message to them.
But they would never find this cave if it weren't for that map you made, Uncle Jim.
We can thank Jack's pedometer for that map. If we hadn't kept track of exactly how far we walked, I could never have made that map.
Look at your pedometer and see how far we've walked in this tunnel, will you, Jack? I bet you it's been half a mile.
Nothing doing, Billy. I'd have to flash a light to read it. And if we flashed a light now and any tribesmen happened to be looking down this tunnel, our goose would be cooked.
Have you found any good place to hide yet, Jack?
Not yet, Betty. This tunnel
as solid rock on this side, anyway.
It's just as solid on this side, Jack.
Wait a minute. There's no side to the tunnel here.
What is there, Jack? Can you make it out in the dark?
It seems to be another small tunnel leading off from this one, Uncle Jim. Here, I'll step inside it and see if it goes in very far.
Jumping crickets, Jack. I sure hope it's another tunnel.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. We could hide in there if we had to.
I think I'll flash my light for an instant, Uncle Jim.
All right, Jack. They can't see it as long as you're in there.
We'll see what it is. There.
Oh, it isn't a tunnel at all. It's just a kind of a niche in the wall.
Yeah, that's all it is, Billy. But it's plenty large enough for all of us to hide in for a moment or two.
Well, it's better than nothing. Put out your light, Jack, and we'll keep on. Perhaps we'll find a better place before we get to the big cave.
I'll keep on feeling as we walk along, Uncle Jim. But it's nice to know that place is there anyway.
Yeah, I guess it is. But I was hoping for a lonely side tunnel that went on and on under the hill.
Keep your voices down now. We're getting pretty close to the end of this tunnel. I think I can see the beginning of the big cave.
Look, Uncle Jim. There's a spot of bright sunlight way ahead of us.
I think that's the main entrance to the cave, Jack. That means that the cave is between us and that spot of light.
Super catfish. I see something moving across the light.
That's probably one of the tribesmen, Billy. He must be close to the entrance.
Easy now. We're getting very close to the main cave.
Oh, I can see part of the cave. I never thought it would be so big. It's like a great big church hollowed out of the rock.
And it is sort of dark inside. All the light it gets is from that one entrance.
That's a break for us, Billy. It's going to be pretty hard to see much of anything inside there unless you're pretty close to the entrance. The back part of the cave will be quite dark.
Watch it. Here's where the tunnel comes into the cave.
Jumping Jiminy, it is something like a big church. And we're right in the very back of it.
I'm beginning to see things in the cave now, Uncle Jim. Look in the front part. I can see a lot of tribesmen standing around the entrance.
And look over there, Jack, over to the right. There's a whole stack of... Yes, sirree, they're rifles. They're the smuggled rifles. Holy mackerel. There must be enough rifles there to arm a dozen tribes.
And there's a pile of boxes near the rifles, Uncle Jim.
That must be the ammunition, Betty. Somebody has certainly gone to a lot of expense to arm these tribes.
It must be Sultan Balua who did that, Uncle Jim. He's the one who's organizing the rebellion.
But where can Lieutenant Rawlings be? I don't see a sign of him.
He's probably tied up somewhere in this cave, Billy.
But maybe he's in the front of the cave, Uncle Jim. Maybe he's in the front where those tribesmen are. Oh, we'll never be able to help him if he's there.
I have a hunch he's somewhere in the back of the cave, Betty. If I were tying up a prisoner in this cave, I'd keep him near the back where it'd be harder to find him.
Look, Jack, 2 of those tribesmen are coming back this way.
Say, they are. I wonder what they're after.
Perhaps they've seen us.
I don't think they've seen us, Betty. They're not coming directly toward us. They're coming to another part of the cave.
But I wish they wouldn't come to the back part of the cave at all.
Uncle Jim, perhaps they're going to where Lieutenant Rawlings is tied up.
You may be right, Jack. You keep an eye on them and see what they do.
Oh, I just know they've seen us, Uncle Jim. I bet they're looking at us right now.
They'd have to have eyes of an owl to see us now, Betty. We're in the mouth of this dark tunnel. From where they are, they can't see a thing.
But they're coming pretty close to us, Uncle Jim, if they keep on coming this way.
We're all right as long as they don't actually come into the tunnel, Billy. If we see they're going to come here, we can go back and hide in that niche we found.
Oh, I don't like their looks at all, Jack. They look terribly fierce.
Now, you're using your imagination, Betty. You can't see their faces in this dim light.
But I just know they look fierce anyway. All of these tribesmen look fierce, and they act fierce, too.
Jumping Jiminy, they're getting close. Look, they're coming all the way to the back of the cave.
But they're not coming to this tunnel, Billy. They're heading for a point about 50 feet to the left of us.
I think I see where they're going, Jack. There's some dark object on the floor of the cave there. Can you see it?
I can see it, Uncle Jim, now that you've pointed it out. What? It looks as though it might be a man lying on the floor of the cave.
Holy smoke, maybe it's Lieutenant Rawlings.
Do you think it might be Lieutenant Rawlings, Uncle Jim?
I'm beginning to think it is Rawlings, Betty.
Look, Uncle Jim, the 2 men are there now. They're bending over him.
Jumping crickets, if they do.
Keep your head, Billy. I think they're just making sure that he's still tied up tightly. Yes, that's it. See, they're going back to the front of the cave now.
Uncle Jim, can't you and I go to Lieutenant Rawlings without being seen?
I think we can, Jack. It's pretty dark here in the back of the cave. Billy, I want you and Betty to stay here. If anything happens, you're to get back to that niche in the tunnel wall. Understand?
But, Uncle Jim, can't I...
No, Billy, you can't. I want you to stay with Betty. Jack and I'll make our way to Rawlings and see what we can do.
But, Uncle Jim, those 2 men aren't going very far away. They're keeping guard on Lieutenant Rawlings.
We can get there without them seeing us, Betty. Come on, Jack. Keep close to the very back wall of the cave. No one can see us from there. Let's go.
It's a good thing it's so dark back here, Uncle Jim. Otherwise, we'd be sure to be seen by those 2 tribesmen.
We're all right as long as we stick close to this wall, Jack. But we'll have to be very careful when we leave if they get to Rawlings.
They certainly must have him tied up. He can't even sit upright the way he's fixed.
They won't take any chance of his escaping, Jack. He knows too much about their plans. That's why we've got to try to get him out of here. And it's going to be a tough job with those two tribesmen watching him.
This is as far as we can go along this wall, Uncle Jim. We can almost talk to him from here.
You'd have to talk too loud, Jack. You've got to get closer to him. Get down on all fours now. If we crawl along the floor of the cave, I don't think those tribesmen will see us. Keep right against the ground now.
We can talk to him pretty soon, Uncle Jim. We can tell him that the soldiers will soon be here.
You may have to get him away before the soldiers arrive, Jack. There. I think he can hear us now. Rawlings.
Who's that?
Who called me? This is Captain Fairfield, Rawlings. And Jack Armstrong is here with me. You remember us?
Captain Fairfield, Jack Armstrong. What on earth are you doing here? We want to help you if we can, Lieutenant Rawlings.
But they'll get you.
They'll make you prisoners the way they did me. You won't have a chance.
We'll have a try at it anyway, Rawlings. Are you in any immediate danger?
Of course I'm in danger. I've discovered all their plans. I know too much to suit them. But you mustn't stay here. Go back before they get you. Go back the same way you came, whatever way that was. Uncle Jim, look. Those two tribesmen have heard us. They're moving over this way.
Crawl back to that wall, Jack. Quick. They mustn't see us. We'll wait until they go. Then we'll come back again.
Hurry, get back. I hear them coming. They won't have any mercy on you if they find you here.
Keep close to the ground, Jack. That's the way. Careful now. Here they come.
It's going to be nip and tuck whether Jack and Uncle Jim get back in time. Those two tribesmen suspect that something is up and they're coming to investigate. But Jack and Uncle Jim won't go far away. And as soon as they get another chance, they'll get back to Rawlings. And then, well, there's an especially exciting time coming up, and you certainly won't want to miss it. So listen in, all of you, at this same time tomorrow for another thrilling episode of the Zambo Anga adventure with Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Now, time is going fast, and if you're going to be one of the first in your crowd to own a Jack Armstrong pedometer, you've got to get busy now, and I mean right away. Send one Wheaties box top and a dime, 10 cents in cash, with your name and address to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. This offer is strictly limited, so be sure to order your pedometer today.
Have you tried Wheaties? Their whole wheat with all of the bran.
This is Franklin McCormick saying goodbye until tomorrow for General Mills, makers of Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, who have just presented another episode of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
So just buy Wheaties, the best breakfast food in the land. Wave the fight for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand.
Jack Armstrong!
Jack Armstrong!
Jack Armstrong! Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
Wave the fight for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand. Ever shall our team be champions, known throughout the land.
Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, bring you the thrilling adventures of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
Hi, Eddie. What you doing looking in Pearson's store window? Golly, every time I come home from school, I see you studying something in that window.
I'm looking at that pedometer Mr. Pearson's got for sale. Gee, isn't it a honey?
Yeah, it's pretty swell, all right. And they're pretty expensive, too.
I know it is, but golly, think of the fun you could have owning a real pedometer like that. It's fastened to your belt and it counts off the miles you travel every place you walk to. I'm going to buy it when I save up enough.
Listen, Eddie, have you got a dime?
Sure, lots more than that.
Well, you just put your dough away. All except that one thin dime. I can show you how to get a swell pedometer for only a dime and the top from a package of Wheaties. Look here.
Say, where'd you get that?
That's a Jack Armstrong pedometer I just got in the mail this morning. Haven't you heard the news? They're offering this special pedometer on the Jack Armstrong radio show. It's been tested over a measured mile, and they say it's just as accurate as the expensive pedometers like the one in the show window.
Hey, that sounds like a deal. Let's see that pedometer of yours a minute.
See? It's made of metal all the way through. The case is nickel-plated, too. And that clip on the back, that's how you fasten the pedometer to your belt when you're walking.
Say, this Jack Armstrong pedometer is just what I've been looking for. Golly, it looks like $1 million. If it works as good as you say it does, I'm going to forget about that high-priced one and get one of these right away.
Sure, you can do that easy. But you better hurry, though. When the rest of the gang hears about these Jack Armstrong pedometers, I'll bet everybody will send for one. And the first thing you know, they'll be all gone.
You got to send for one, huh? How do you do that?
Listen.
You can get yourself one of these precision-made automatic pedometers by sending only 10 cents and the top from the package of Wheaties to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Have you got that? Put one Wheaties box top in a stamped envelope with a dime, 10 cents in cash, and your own name and address. Mail it to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we'll see that you get your pedometer in a hurry. Remember, this big, exciting offer is strictly limited. Unless you hurry and send right away, you may be left out. So ask for Wheaties and put your order in the mail today. And now, Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
While Billy and Betty wait in a tunnel that leads from a secret entrance to the cave of the smuggled rifles, Jack and Uncle Jim have managed to reach Lieutenant Rawlings, who is a tightly bound prisoner in the cave. The wild tribesmen who are guarding him are gathered around the entrance to the cave, and in the dim light, Jack and Uncle Jim were able to talk to Lieutenant Rawlings. However, two of the tribesmen suddenly became suspicious and are coming towards them. Listen. Hurry, for heaven's sake, you mustn't let those two men see you.
We'll come back, Rawlings, as soon as they leave you. Come on, Jack. Keep close to the ground as we crawl back.
I'm practically flat on the ground now, Uncle Jim. I don't believe they can see us.
We don't have to go back very far, Jack. There's a hump in the floor of the cave right behind us. We can hide behind that.
Oh, what luck it's so dark here. I'm glad that Lieutenant Rawlings isn't tied up near the front of the cave.
Here, Jack, come over this way a little. There's that hump I spoke of. We can plant flat behind it, and they'll never spot us.
They'll find us if they start looking for us. But I don't believe they suspect that we're here.
Over this way a little more, Jack. There. Now get as flat as you can. That's the idea. We'll stay here and see what they're going to do to Lieutenant Rawlings.
They'd better not try to do anything to him.
We've got to keep our heads, Jack, no matter what happens. We won't help Rawlings by doing anything rash.
They're standing over Lieutenant Rawlings now. Say, they look like mean hombres even in this dim light.
What you do, huh?
Listen to
What do you think I'm doing? Why don't you untie me and let me show you what I can do?
You talk big. You talk too big. Soon we show you. We show you what we do. How you like that, huh?
How'd you like it when the soldiers come to get you? You'll sing a different tune then. You and your whole tribe.
You talk big. Soldiers never come here. No white man never find this place.
I found it, didn't I?
Yeah, you found cave. Now you tied up. Soon too bad for you. You never tell where cave is. How you like that, huh?
He kicked him, Uncle Jimmy. Kicked Rawlings. Quiet, Jack.
Don't lose your head. We can't help Rawlings if they discovered us.
All right, Uncle Jim, but that did something to me. There, he's going back now. And that other tribesman's going back with him. We'll soon be able to talk to Lieutenant Rawlings again.
We'll have to be more careful this time. If they get suspicious again, they'll start looking around.
I hope Betty and Billy don't get careless. They're not very far from us.
They're still at the little tunnel, Jack. They'll be all right if Karang and his men don't come in that tunnel.
Manuel will warn us if Karang and his men come in that way. Unless Yates sees through his disguise.
We can get back to Rawlings now, Jack. Those two tribesmen are going to the front of the cave with the rest of the tribe. Come on. Be careful. Stick close to the ground.
I will, Uncle Jim.
Move over toward me a little. We'll crawl right up behind Rawlings. That way he'll help hide us.
Oh, that's a good idea, Uncle Jim. There. They'll never be able to see us now.
Don't try to move, Rawlings. They're coming up right behind you.
Still, here we are. You got it. And what are Betty and Billy? Billy and Betty aren't far away, Lieutenant Rawlings. They're in a tunnel that comes in from a back entrance to the cave.
A back entrance? I didn't know there was one. Who told you about it?
That old Moro peddler. He's really a Moro chieftain in disguise and an old friend of ours. He came up in this country for the same reason that you did, to get information about these rebellious tribes.
He can't be Malua. That's just who he is. So, you know him.
I've never seen him in my life. He's almost a mythical character. But I've heard of him. Whenever a tribe goes on a rampage and murders and robs the other tribes... But Malua doesn't have anything to do with that sort of thing.
Oh, of course not. But when a rampaging tribe suddenly settles down and behaves itself,
We always hear that Manuel is the man who restored order. But I'm talking too much. We're wasting valuable time. If you can untie me, we'll slip out through that tunnel.
We'll untie you, Rawlings, but we can't slip out through that tunnel. Not now, at any rate.
Why not? What's to prevent it?
Karang and his tribe followed us here.
Karang? Why, he's the man they're waiting for before they dispose of me. That villainous white trader named Yates went to get him.
Yates got Karang and his whole tribe. They followed us to the secret entrance of the cave.
Then why didn't they come in?
Manuel disguised himself as one of these tribesmen and pretended he was the sentry. He told Karang that we didn't come in, so the natives are hunting for us outside.
But he won't be able to fool Karang for long. Right now, all of Karang's men are milling around outside that tunnel. So you see where we can't escape that way.
Then we are lost. Billy and Betty are lost, too. You shouldn't have risked coming here to save me.
Perhaps it isn't quite as bad as that, Rawlings. I sent a message to your regiment telling Colonel Brewster where you were and what had happened to you. They should be on their way here now to rescue us.
But they'll never find this place, Captain Fairfield. There's not a white man in the country who knows where this cave is except Yates and us.
I made a map, Rawlings. I made a map of this country and showed where the cave is.
Map? How on earth could you make a map without instruments?
Remember that pedometer you gave me, Lieutenant Rawlings? Well, we used that. We made the map with the pedometer and a compass.
You mean you used the pedometer to record your distance and the compass to keep that track of direction?
That's how we did it, Rawlings. While it may not be a perfect map, it'll give them the general location of the cave.
But I'm afraid even that won't do. This cave is so deucedly cleverly hidden that the soldiers may hunt around here for days without finding it.
Let's untie him, Uncle Jim, and take him back in the tunnel with us.
It's better cut him loose, Jack. He's tied up with raw hemp, and no man yet ever untied a knot in raw hemp.
Here, I've got my knife. I'll get your wrist first, Lieutenant Rawlings. Yeah, hold still now. I won't touch it. Hey, this hemp must be cutting your wrists in two.
Yeah, they tied me up pretty tight.
There, I got it. Now, take a slice of that knot on my ankles. Just a minute, it's hard to see. There, I've got it. Hold steady now. There, Lieutenant Rawlings. You're all free.
It's hard to believe. Oh, I'd like to get up and stretch.
Don't do it now, Rawlings. Some of those tribesmen are looking this way.
Yeah, I see them. But I don't think they'll come here yet. They're all waiting for Karang to arrive.
Hadn't we better slip back to the tunnel now, Uncle Jim? There's that niche in the side wall we can all hide in for a while if we have to. If the tribesmen don't know about that place, and if they haven't got a light, we may be able to hide there for quite a while.
That's a good idea, Jack. Wait until those tribesmen stop looking this way. There. It's safe to move back now.
Wait a minute, Uncle Jim. There's somebody coming this way from the tunnel.
I see him, Jack.
But who can it be? I think it's Billy, but I don't see Betty with him. Something must have happened.
It is Billy. Here we are, Billy, over this way.
Where, Uncle Jim? Where are you?
Just keep coming straight ahead, Billy.
Oh, I see you. You're all flat on the ground.
You'd better get flat, too, Billy.
What's the trouble? Someone is coming through the tunnel, Uncle Jim.
Someone's coming through the tunnel, Billy. Perhaps it's Manuel.
It's not just one person, Uncle Jim. It sounds like a lot of men. I think it must be Karang and his tribe.
But Manuel would warn us, Billy. He wouldn't let himself be taken by surprise.
He hasn't warned us, Jack. And I know that there are a lot of men coming in through that tunnel. They're not even trying to be quiet. They're making lots of noise.
Then it must be Karang and his men. Billy, what did you do with Betty?
I made her hide in that niche that we discovered, Uncle Jim. I told her to stay there and not to come out in the tunnel.
Good. We'd all better get there before Karang and his men arrive. Come on.
I don't think we have time to get there, Uncle Jim. They're almost here. Listen. I bet you can hear them now.
They do sound awfully close, Uncle Jim.
We'll try it anyway, Jack. They're sure to find us if we stay here. Don't stop. Keep moving. We'll try to reach that niche in the tunnel before Karang gets there. Oh, what happened to your foot, Rawlings? You're limping.
My feet were tied up too long, I guess, but I'll keep up with you. We've got to get to that hiding place before Karang gets there.
I don't know whether we'll make it or not. They sound terribly close. They are close, Jack. Jumping Jiminy, you can hear them coming.
There's the tunnel just ahead of us, Billy.
But we'll never get in there and back where Betty is before Karang gets here, Jack.
Here they come. Flattened out against this wall at the back of the cave.
Look at them pour out of that tunnel, Jack. And there's Yates and Karang leading them.
But where's Manuel? I can't understand what happened to him. If Yates ever saw through his disguise, I can guess what happened to him.
I don't think that Manuel's disguise was penetrated, Rawlings. It had been Yates would know that Jack and Billy and I were in here somewhere. In that case, they wouldn't have come so fast through the tunnel. They'd have come slowly and searched out all the hiding places.
Perhaps you're right, Captain Fairfield. Right now, Yates and Karang and their men are going to the front of the cave to join forces with the other tribesmen.
Maybe when they all leave the tunnel, we can get back in and make our escape. I hope so. I don't want that bunch to find us in here.
Look sharp now. As soon as the last man leaves the tunnel, we'll slip in.
It's a good plan, but I'm afraid it won't work. See, 4 of the tribesmen have stopped. They've been told to stay there and watch that tunnel.
But if they don't know that we're in here...
Perhaps they're afraid of somebody from the outside, Jack.
But I don't understand, Uncle Jim. Why should they be afraid of anybody on the outside?
I don't know, Billy. But there are two things that puzzle me. First, why didn't Mario come in and warn us? Second, why was Karang in such a hurry?
Yeah, that's something to think about.
We've got something else to think about right now. Yates and Karang are talking to the chief in front of the cave.
Jiminy, they're coming over this way.
And that means they're coming over to get me, Billy. They don't know that the rest of you are here.
I'd give a lot if we could all get back in that tunnel and hide in that niche with Betty.
Well, we can't, Jack. There are 4 tribesmen guarding that tunnel now.
Jumping crickets, they're looking around for you now, Lieutenant Rawlings.
Yes, and they've discovered that I've gone.
Look, they're running back to the front of the cave. They're going to give the alarm. Something catfish. Look at all those tribesmen spring into action.
Right, it's good and dark here in the back of the cave. Maybe it'll take them a long time to find us. And every moment brings the soldiers nearer and nearer.
It won't take long for Karang to find us, Jack. Look, see that dark pile in the middle of the cave?
Yeah, I see it. What is it?
That's a pile of firewood. Every night they light up the inside of the cave with a large bonfire. You see? 2 men are going to it now. They're going to light a huge fire, and when they do, they'll spot us right away.
Things are rapidly coming to a head in that hidden cave in the Zambo Anga Peninsula. As soon as that bonfire is lit, Jack Armstrong and the others are certainly going to be discovered. But say, where is Melua? And why was Karang in such a hurry to get into the cave? Something important is happening outside the cave. You don't suppose, do you, that the advance guard of the soldiers has reached the creek? Oh, boy, if the soldiers are getting there, what a surprise Karang and Yates will have. I don't need to tell you that things are going to happen when you listen in tomorrow, so don't forget to be here at the same time for a bang-up episode of the Zambo Anga Adventure with Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Now, you're not going to let the other fellows and girls get ahead of you and order a Jack Armstrong pedometer before you do. Send a Wheaties box top with 1 dime, 10 cents in cash, and your name and address to Jack Armstrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We'll see that you get your pedometer right away.
Have you tried Wheaties? They're whole wheat with all of the bran.
This is Franklin McCormick saying goodbye until tomorrow for General Mills, makers of Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, who have just presented another episode of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
So just buy Wheaties, the best breakfast food in the land. Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand.
Okay, that's the end of the Jack Armstrong series I'm bringing you right now. I hope you got a bowl of Wheaties. I hope you maybe looked into getting a pedometer. And I hope you enjoyed it. So we'll do something a little different next time. Just thought that was something that people might be interested in hearing. So, all right. Don't forget to subscribe.